What is up, InterWebs? Big Lou here. Matt the Cutman with me, as
Cheers.
always. Before we get started here, can I just say, Deadpool. Before we jump into anything to do with Logan,
Yeah.
Deadpool, it was like, what, a minute? 2 minute?
Not even. They didn't even
announcement thing.
They didn't even warm up to it.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
So, little announcement trailer with him trying to change in the phone booth.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, and we'll dive into a little more of that
at a later date.
when the
But
time comes.
It just was a great way to kind of just set the mood, and it was awesome.
Yes.
So,
yes, indeed.
with that out of the way,
Moving forward. Okay. All right. How you doing, buddy?
I'm still recovering, my friend.
That was
That was a thing. Why don't you go ahead and start? I'm still over here because we just saw Logan.
Okay.
In case you hadn't noticed from the title of this video, but why don't you go ahead and start? What did you think of Logan?
that was the full gambit of emotions.
You're not wrong.
See what I did there?
I did. I did.
No, that was the full ride. That was the way to really close out the story of those characters, emotionally, story wise. It really hit home, and it really they sold it.
I
sold it.
absolutely agree. Selling it is exactly what they did. I want to preface this by saying that when they first announced that we were getting a Logan movie, a third standalone Wolverine movie, I was like, really? Another standalone Wolverine movie? I was like, I don't care about a third Wolverine movie. The second one with him in China or Japan, it was good. It was much better than the first standalone or Wolverine Origins one. I was done with it. I was like, okay, whatever. And then we get that first trailer with Johnny Cash hurt. And I was like, oh.
You knew it's going to be different.
Okay, this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it just, the more and more I started seeing about it, they're like, okay, we're doing Old Man Logan. It's post-apocalyptic, or not post-apocalyptic, but it's set in the future.
Yeah.
He's, they're doing X-23. We start hearing about that. We've got Charles Xavier's losing his mind.
Yeah.
And it was...
This is a full spoiler review, right?
Yeah, we're going to go ahead. We're doing this as if you have already seen the movie. So if you haven't seen Logan, pause this video, go see Logan, and then come back and watch this, participate in the experience with us, because this movie was an experience.
It was just a solid way to wrap up these characters, and you had a good full closure of them.
Yeah.
And
I mean, in a couple of really, really good ways. The couple of the positives here that I've written down is, number one is that the overarching tone and the scale of the movie was personal. This movie was personal. It was Logan and Charles taking care Logan taking care of Charles as Charles is dying. I mean, when we don't know why he's got him out in the desert, and we come to find out that it's because the guy Pierce, played by Boyd Holbrook, who did a fantastic job as just an all-out douchebag in this movie, was a really, really good Weasley type character.
Yeah.
He says he's got a degenerative mental disease in the world's most dangerous mind.
Well, he didn't say mental disease. He said degenerative brain disease.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like ALS or Alzheimer's or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
And just the stuff that, when he starts having those seizures and just all the stuff that Charles is going through, and you realize why they're out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Right.
And it's so personal, that the struggles that Logan's trying to do to take care of someone who has taken care of him for as long as he can remember.
Yeah.
And it just was, that part of the story is so incredibly awesome.
If your brain, like, I mean, MS is described as your brain attacking itself or attacking the body. Imagine if your brain is, though, also connected to every other person and mutant in the vicinity and planet.
Yeah.
And it can then attack unbeknownst to you. Yeah, without your control, without your consent, and you can't do anything about it, and you have you have no control over it.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah, a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot of it.
So yeah, you're right. It was very personal. I wrote down it was a tragedy of a very personal level.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just something. Maybe there's something about the mood of the country at the moment that we all just think everyone's going to die anyway.
Hey, you know.
What could that be? I don't know.
I don't know.
Fuck it. We're all going to die.
All going to die. And now I die.
And now I die.
So what else about this stands out to you as an overwhelming positive? Because I know I've got a couple of other things written down here.
So when Hugh Jackman was doing, I think it was press for X-Men 2, the best X-Men.
I don't know, Days of Future Past was up there.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah.
But when he was doing press for X-Men 2, he was on, I think he was on Jay Leno, and he made this joke, and he was like, yeah, when there's this great scene when Wolverine goes and he stabs everybody, but misses every major artery, wink, wink to the camera.
Yeah.
And the whole crowd laughs, because obviously you can't show Wolverine eviscerating people. You get to see Wolverine eviscerating people, what it would really look like if a guy with giant metal claws that come out of his hand just starts slashing at people. This is what it would look like.
And it starts out right out of the fucking gate.
Yeah.
I mean, just hits you in the face with these claws in the first scene.
In the face.
And it was intense. Mm-hmm. It was graphic, but it
was visceral.
But it wasn't Tarantino. You know?
Well, true.
You know, I mean, it was... Because you could be visceral and gory without being just over the top for no reason. And this was right at the cusp. I think they did a very good job of doing it in such a way that it was tactful gore.
Yeah, no, it was definitely not. It was definitely not Kill Bill takes on an entire assassin squad in a Japanese club because they have to go to black and white because of that. It was not that, but it was definitely. It had a realistic tone.
Yeah, no, it was well deserved of the R rating. Let's make no mistake.
Indeed, but yeah, so that was one of the things that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
So.
One of my things here that I wrote down is that the story served the character, and it let Hugh Jackman show off his acting chops, because make no mistake, that boy can act, and it didn't sacrifice who Wolverine was as a character.
Oh, I felt Jean Valjean.
Yeah, oh no, big time. Big time. Huge influences there of some of his more dramatic roles.
Absolutely.
And you can definitely see where this character has gone through the 14, 15 years that he's been playing this character. He knows this character so well, and now that we see where he's come full circle and he's playing him at the end of his life, it's really, really cool to see someone, an actor at the top of his game, an Academy Award nominated actor, being able to play somebody like Logan, who has gone through multiple lifetimes worth of experiences at this point, being able to draw on so many different emotions and so many different experiences and just give a full range of different stuff and do it, not only the emotional stuff, but the physical stuff. The fact that we know how incredibly capable he is physically.
Let's not kid ourselves.
But to show how almost broken he was in this movie, limping throughout most of the movie, and then when he
I noticed it right off.
Yeah, he'd take that drug and then just be like, rah, and he'd feel that rage and be able to come back to be the Logan that we know. And then when he was playing X-24, as the younger clone or whatever, the replica, he was Hugh Jackman again. And we could see the juxtaposition of how wide a range Hugh Jackman actually has. And he got robbed as Jean Valjean. He should have won that year. You ask me. But
Jean Valjean does the robbing. That's why he's being chased by Javert.
Yeah, correct.
Because the bread and then it's not important.
Yeah, correct. You're right. It's the least bit for this conversation. Yeah, and the other thing is that this movie, in my opinion, does not work if the chemistry between Wolverine and X-23 isn't there. And
I loved her.
The chemistry between Hugh Jackman and the young lady's name is Daphne Keane. Look out for her.
Daphne?
Yeah. Thank you, Niles.
I was actually doing Daphne's brother, but that's...
Okay. I didn't know she had a brother.
Oh, Daphne! If any Frasier fans out there, you'll spot that.
Fair enough. That little girl's going places. Their chemistry together was just on
for sure.
point. When she finally breaks down and starts speaking, it just goes off.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Shut the fuck up!" That was really, really good. What are your thoughts on their interactions and stuff?
Yeah, I thought at first it would be weird because the X-Men universe has this paradigm of between Logan and Charles, and they're civil toward each other. They're obviously not saying "shut the fuck up, I'm fucking 90 years old," this, that, and another. And then, but when family breaks down, and when the chips are down, and it's the end of the family vacation, "Mom, shut the fuck up, I'm busy."
Yeah,
things get said like that.
Yeah.
You don't have the niceties and things like so. I get how that dynamic could devolve into that.
Especially knowing that Logan probably has always had that there and just kind of kept it under wraps. And Charles, by the time he's that age, doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Yep.
So, yeah, it definitely, again, you say it serves the story. The R rating is well deserved, and the language in this, is it funny as hell watching freaking Patrick Stewart dropping F-bombs left
Patrick?
and right?
Yes,
Absolutely. Does it take me out? A little bit. But I'm okay with it because, again, it served the story, and it wasn't out of place. It was definitely there. And this, you said it at the beginning, this was definitely the swan song of both Charles and Logan.
Yeah.
This was definitely the right way to send them off. So,
if I could do something different,
what would you do different?
I would have last year I would not have had an X-Men Apocalypse. I would have had almost a prequel to this. I would have had a setup to what was going on to the elimination of the mutants. I needed more of that.
You want to know what happened in Manchester?
Yeah, Westchester.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, I want.
You tell I've been watching too much West Wing.
No, I want to know what happened in Westchester. I want to know. I kind of get what happened. That Charles had this break, and he killed most of the X-Men by accident, and obviously that the mutant kind has been wiped out by this cure that they have been putting in whatever the soda or whatever it is that they have been doing.
Yeah.
I need more of that. I need that story.
That was one of my biggest negatives as well, is that I wanted more.
Yeah.
But that's contrary to my personal. This movie was about Logan and Charles. But on the same time, I agree with you. I wanted more of the why was everything happening to it. I wanted to know, I wish they'd elaborated more on what Eden was, and I wanted to know what was waiting for those kids when they got there.
Yeah.
Who were they talking to on the other end of that radio? And again, I wanted to know more about what happened those couple of years ago.
Maybe somebody can put it into a book. I'd be fine with that. I need that story.
Or hey, maybe a comic book. Let's make it happen, Marvel.
Now it comes full circle.
See what we did there? A couple of my negatives on this is some of the story points were a little bit predictable, like Caliban, who...
Stephen Merchant.
Come
on!
It was one of those, I know that guy, but the makeup in this movie, if this movie doesn't get nominated for Best Makeup, because, I mean, granted, Patrick Stewart's an old man, but he really looked like a broken old man in this movie. And Hugh Jackman did too. And he is not a broken old man, but he looked like a broken old man in this movie. And Stephen Merchant looked creepy as hell as Caliban the albino. And to the point that it was, like I said, I know him from somewhere, but who the fuck is that guy?
No, I spotted Stephen Merchant straight away.
Well, I knew you would, but kind of predictable on some of the story points with, Pierce and Dr. Rice chasing them and waiting for them in what's it called, and you knew that X-24 and Logan was going to have a showdown, and you knew that he had the adamantium bullet, and
that was
it was incredibly predictable, but still a lot of fun to watch.
They borrowed the I've been holding on to this adamantium bullet. That was obviously borrowed from Lethal Weapon. And
sure.
So the showdown at the farm with the younger, more souped up version. That was borrowed from Universal Soldier, and
I didn't put that together, but you're right.
Maybe even the guys in the big rig that explodes at the end, also borrowed from Universal Soldier. You got to rewatch Universal Soldier; it's a good movie.
I guess I need to rewatch. We need to have a Van Damme-a-thon, I think. And my biggest thing about this, my biggest negative is in the trailer. You see that shot of him and Laura standing there in the woods with the shovel. They gave away the spoiler alert. They gave away the fact that Charles dies, at least to me. Did you pick up on that?
No, you know what? I didn't.
Oh, really? Oh, so I guess you see them standing there in the woods with a shovel, and to me it's like, oh, they just buried Charles Xavier.
I kind of figured that they would.
I did too, but I would have rather not seen that in the trailer.
Sure. Yeah, you didn't need the confirmation. I get that.
Yeah. So anyway, nitpicking type stuff. This movie was
you and your nitpickery.
Hey, I'm if there's a nit, I'm gonna pick it. So I don't know if that's inappropriate to say, but it sure sounds like
not around the kids.
Sorry. Good thing they went to bed. Anyway. Well, that's our thoughts on Logan for this second day of March 2017. Let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this video amongst all of your friends. Follow us on Facebook at The InterWebs Show. Follow us on Twitter at The InterWebs Show. For Matt the Cutman, I am Big Lou, and until then, we will see you on the interwebs.